Hi, it's Lisa. Today's page is going to be one without a photo, as I'm responding to a challenge in a class that I'm taking. I could do a lot of different subjects for this because I have a lot of areas of my life where I don't have photos. I am using some watercolor paper here that's only 11 inches long, and I'm going to be adding some green paper to the bottom of it. When I first got this challenge, I went to my sticker drawer and looked for stickers that might go with one of the many stories that I could tell without a photo. And I had a lot of things about summer days and clouds, and I've got this little cow paper there. Lots of things that reminded me of my childhood and laying in the hammock and looking at the clouds. So I decided to use that for a subject. Those clouds, their felt ones, are from Pebbles. They'll get used a little bit later on. I'm going to start by creating a watercolor background. I'm just testing out a couple of different shades of blue in the middle in an area that I know will end up getting covered up. I decided I liked the second one I tried there better. I knew this challenge was going to be coming to do the no photo. As I say, I have a lot of different things I can do because there was large parts of my life where we just didn't take a lot of photos. My parents worked a lot of hours. They had a business that was open 65 hours a week, and they were the only two people running it, and they didn't have any employees. So they were just busy and didn't take a lot of pictures growing up. I think maybe some families are like that. We just don't take a lot of photos. So I don't have a lot of pictures of that time, and I don't have a lot of pictures of my 20s because I didn't take pictures when I grew up. So plenty of stories I can do here. I've got my blue on the background, and I wiped off a little bit of it to sort of make some clouds, but I'm going to add some additional clouds with white paint. And I keep sponging it on here, trying to get it thick enough. I glob it on just a little bit towards the end, and I kind of like that look for the clouds. And then I'm taking my journaling, and I want the torn edge look. I think that's going to look good. And I think it needs some kind of paper behind it in addition to the green there on the bottom. Trying out a couple of different greens. The one with the little houses is the one I thought I would use. I ended up using a plainer green, which you'll see better in a moment. I also decided to use some of this gingham paper. This is also October Afternoon, and it tears really easily. And while I was on a tearing kick, I went ahead and tore the green for the bottom. And I decided I really liked that, and then I had too many things that were torn. So I took that gingham paper to the paper trimmer and just trimmed it down square. And that looked better. Now I've got to put all this in place, and I'll use my gridded mat to help line things up because I want to make sure it ends up nice and square. And it's 12 inches in length. And this ends up being a little big, so I take it to the paper trimmer, or a little bit wide on the side, so I take it to the paper trimmer and trimmed it off because I think I had the watercolor paper cut a little bit more than 12 inches wide. Just trying out some of those different Pebbles clouds. And I picked out a couple of the cows. There were other animals in this photo, and our neighbors had cows, and we didn't have any sheep or anything like that, or a rooster, but I thought the little cows were cute. I feel like I need something there over on the right side. I kept trying different things. Not quite sure where to put the clouds. It was at this point I moved things around a lot. Added an hour to the hammock title that's going vertically. I've got several stickers I know I want to use. They say things like lazy days and fluffy clouds and green grass and neighbor because I played with one of the neighbor's kids. but I'm not quite happy with it. The cows are bothering me. So I went back and I tried just doing a single cow, putting it different places. In the end, the cows get evicted. They just don't end up working out. But I like maybe adding a little bit of yellow to this. So I really loved my background, but I decided to spray it. I had originally planned to do a sun. I just sort of forgot about it when I started putting this thing together. It's one of these layouts where I figured it out going down the road in my car, but when I got home I forgot exactly what I was going to do. I loved how the sun came out over the misting. I am going to have to do something to those clouds though and make them reappear because they got covered up a lot by the sun. Now what I'm doing is pulling some paper to make a border down at the bottom, and this was one of the striped sheets that went with this paper, and I'll create the border there in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and get my clouds on here, and I kept sponging them on, and the sponge of course picked up some of the mist because mist is water soluble, so if you add something wet to it then it starts to bleed. So what I ended up doing was using my finger because I could wipe my finger off if I got ink on it. And as you'll see in a moment, I should have, after I did this, gone and washed my hands because I continued to have wet paint on them, dangerously close to getting it all over everything. I've got a couple of 6-inch strips down there at the bottom that came from a I guess they were 8-inch strips, came from an 8-inch pad, and I'm having them meet in the middle because what I'm going to use to cover up the seam is one of those little stickers. I'm trying to create a border row down here to kind of make it look like it was a printed border. So I've got 5 stickers. They just have different words on them. And I'm ready to start putting my clouds in places where I start getting white paint on all over things. And we're getting close. I still need something down there where that word hour is. And I ended up with a sticker that had a little bicycle on it because that was part of the story too. And I've got a stamp from Stampin' Up! That I'm stamping in between each of the stickers, and that further makes that bottom look like a border row, printed border. I'm going to tie some twine around this, and our page is nearly done. Since it doesn't have a photo, it really doesn't have a date, because this covers a large part of, it's something about my childhood, but it covers a large period of time, so I didn't really feel like I needed it dated. I could have put a recorded by date, I suppose. But anyway, here's the finished page. And you can see the misted yellow sunshine and those pebbles clouds. The torn edge for the journaling only, and then the green grass down at the bottom. And that's my page. So thanks for watching, and check out my blog. It has the journaling on it.